Hi guys, did you miss us? Well, we've brought you another amazing video, and this time we'll be talking about Caitriona Balfe, and she recently released an audition tape for the role of Claire Fraser. We already knew since the first episode that she was meant for the role, but this newly published video just proved it. We're sure you're wondering what we're talking about, so let's get into the deets. First, let's jump into the video and find out just what Caitriona did to wow the producers. Outlander fans may be experiencing a long, harsh winter as they sit tight in wait for season 7 of the time-traveling Scottish fantasy romance series. But Sony Pictures TV has provided some firewood to keep us warm. In honor of the show's 8th anniversary, Sony Pictures released the audition video of the actress playing the gutsy and incredible Claire Fraser in the long-running series on August 9th. It was crystal clear from the moment Caitriona Balfe was discovered that she was our Claire, the network stated in the caption. Season 7 of Outlander is set to premiere sometime around the end of this year or at the start of next year. Season 6 of the show will be released on Blu-ray and DVD on the 30th of September 2022. The short clip reveals what makes Balfe the one and only Claire. The new featurette explains why Balfe is regarded as one of the most beloved romance actresses. Balfe, 42, started her career as a model before moving on to acting. She was also featured in the 2016 film Money Monster with George Clooney and Julia Roberts, and in the 2019 film titled Ford vs. Ferrari with Matt Damon and Christian Bale. And those are just a few of the many projects she's been a part of before joining the cast of Outlander. Returning to her role in the Scottish fantasy series, Balfe embodies many of Claire's characteristics in real life, as stated in the video. She's intelligent, strong, and funny, and all of those qualities transfer to the screen when she plays Claire. The video then cuts to Balfe's actual audition tapes. Now, what happens in the clip, and why is it so amazing? Balfe is seen acting out a wartime urgent care scene where she's attempting to address a trauma patient in wartime Europe. Her audition tape demonstrates her mastery of creating a sense of urgency on the spot, and her sense of humor and ability to maintain control under pressure, both of which are important aspects of Claire's character. Really guys, everything was on point. Her tone, expressions, and emotions put in her words were amazing. And the best part was she didn't even have actual props to work with, but even still, she made it seem like she was actually addressing a wound. Simply brilliant. Oh, and since we're talking about the show anyway, there's someone who hopes to make a comeback in future seasons. Outlander actor Scott Kyle, who plays Jamie Fraser's clansman Ross, discussed if he might be making a return in a recent interview. Ross was among Jamie's men at the Battle of Prestonpans in season 2, after the Highlander returned to Scotland from his failed attempts to rewrite history in Paris. Ross fought valiantly by Jamie's side but was not seen again in the show after that, leading some to decide if he might return. Although Outlander has relocated the plot to North Carolina, the books show a return to Scotland later on, implying that some characters may return. So, what hope is there that we might see Ross again? Outlander also jumps through time, with some characters traveling back and forth across eras, and others coming back to the period before their deaths. Kyle said that his character Ross is still alive and hoping to make it to America. Season 6, in fact, was a nod to Scotland and previous seasons of Outlander, with flashback scenes of Jamie during his time at Ardsmuir and serving a sentence with Tom Christie. There are always newbies to Fraser's Ridge, and Ross could be one of those families. Given that Scotland is still the show's home base and that the country doubles as North Carolina, Kyle, who is also based in the country, could return to the show. Kyle also talked about how Gabaldon tweeted about him and was happy to see that the people he worked with remembered him. That also gave him hope that he might be asked to come back to shoot a few more scenes. The actor is now working on different projects following the success of Outlander. Speaking about future seasons, Starz just announced that there would be some changes to the main characters in season 7. Because of its long run time, the 7th installment of Outlander will see some significant changes. After almost halving the 6th season due to COVID regulations, Starz wasted no time in swearing to bring fans a much bigger 7th season to make up for this year's reduced episode count. Starz romantic fantasy drama will double its episode count for next season, increasing the total to a whopping 16 episodes. Matthew, Outlander's executive producer, has since expressed how the prolonged season has helped him space out his ideas for the show's main characters. Because the story was cut short, the events of Diana's 6th novel in the Outlander franchise, A Breath of Snow and Ashes, remained unresolved in Starz adaptation. He said, "We have more time with certain characters now, which means we get to see more depth in the characters' stories and see different sides of them in season 7. After Jamie has reconciled with Claire and decided to return to the Ridge, there is is still the issue of the American Revolution to deal with. Fans can also expect to see a lot more of their daughter Brianna and her husband Roger, as well as surrogate Fraser, young Ian. Although viewers generally liked this year's season, many were disappointed when the season finale left the story unfinished. Thankfully, the next installment, which is projected to include the conclusion to Outlander Novel 7, An Echo in the Bone, will not have the same issue. And Sam Heughan has expressed some concern for his character's future. Season 6 of Outlander concluded with Jamie Fraser reflecting on his close calls while telling Claire about his 9 lives. Acknowledging the series finale, the Scottish actor openly stated that he knows Jamie's time is drawing close, and with the American Revolutionary War looming, he's not certain how much longer he can endure. "I think about his mortality," said the actor. According to him, each time Jamie loses one of 9 lives, it costs him more, and it's an interesting one. Sam says that Jamie has already lost like 7 or 8, and there's got to be some point to all of the suffering. He also said that he doesn't know if the character can go on like that much longer. And if you remember, he once revealed that he's the only cast member who has seen how the novels end. So if he's still concerned, that sounds like bad news for our all-time fictional crush. In other news from Outlander, first off, Sam Heughan may be embarking on his first role since Outlander. Sam Heughan may no longer be considered for the part of secret agent James Bond, but he's wasting no time in finding his next movie role. The Scotsman is rounding the part of Deacon St. John in Sony PlayStation Productions' apocalyptic tale called Days Gone, following the popularity of Uncharted, which was based on a PlayStation game. It's still unclear whether this will be Heughan's first role after Season 7, or if it's going to be crammed between Seasons 7 and 8, as Starz has yet to renew the epic fantasy drama for another season. Also, Outlander star Graham McTavish recently talked about the role he gave up in exchange for another project. Graham is known primarily for his role as War Chief Dougal Mackenzie in Starz fantasy series Outlander, but unfortunately, the actor will not reprise his role in the forthcoming season because his character died in Season 2. Now, Graham has revealed that he had turned down an important part in Game of Thrones. Despite missing out on the role, he was delighted to be considered for the prequel series House of the Dragon, set 3 centuries before Game of Thrones. He stated that he was offered 2 roles, but because one of them would end in episode 4, he chose the other, but didn't name the characters. And finally, Starz finally clarified Diana's role in the next season. Remember the chaotic situation where Diana's name was put as a consulting producer for the next season, but she had no idea? Well, looks like the big boss has finally found the time to clarify if she's going to be a part of the next installment or not. The programming chief said that Diana was a pleasure to work with, and she's definitely going to be involved, especially with the scripts. They're just in the middle of finalizing the details, so he couldn't really tell us what role she'll be playing in the production process. And that's a wrap for this video. Have you seen Caitriona's audition tapes yet? What are your thoughts about it? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.